Raccoon Lagoon is similar to a virtual Harvest Moon game, with some extra activities thrown in. You and some animals are stuck on an island, so it's up to you to make this place more of a home. There is a surprising amount of things that you can do here. You can shake trees, which makes leaves fall from the branches, and also a piece of fruit will drop from it. Catching it in mid-air does feel great. You can chop the tree down to produce wood and other items. The cool thing is that the tree is actually physics based and reacts to where you exactly cut it. It falls in the right direction, and even when you chop it into little pieces, it's pretty realistic and is quite impressive.
So, how many pieces can you chop the animals into?
What is wrong with you? This is a calming game.
There has to be a catch. All these video games have some sort of violence.
Well, you can pick up the animals and chuck them.
I knew it! Poor little helpless creatures!
Do you really have to nitpick at everything? You can fish, but casting your line out doesn't always feel right. It can take quite a few attempts to get your hook to land exactly where you want it to. Luckily, after you have cast out, you can gently tug your rod to easily make your hook move to the location you first intended. It doesn't take long at all for a fish to bite, and when they do, you quickly pull the rod back, which forces the fish out of the water. It's a very casual fishing mini game, much like the other activities, but it does ensure that you're constantly being rewarded for your efforts. The next activity is mining. You hit a piece of ore a few times to destroy it, and sometimes it will reward you with a gem. The inventory system is very easy to use. You can either place an item into it, or when you're holding an item, you can press a button to instantly make it be stored in there. Considering how many items you will come across, this quick button press is very welcomed. Farming also makes an appearance here. First you must place down a seed and then water the plant whenever it requests it. Unlike other games of this nature, you don't have to wait a few days for the plant to grow. You don't even have to wait that long at all for the plant to want more water. So you can actually get the vegetable you need quite quickly. Once again, the game focuses more on a casual playing rather than complicating things with time management. It's actually a very peaceful experience because of it. There is a day and night cycle though. When the day is coming to an end, the island is hit with quite an intimidating thunderstorm. It really is the only thing that sounds quite threatening, and it does sound amazing. When a new day starts, everything is reset. The trees you chop down reappear, the ore is restored, and items can be found again that are just laying around. The actual main objective of the game is to restore a shattered egg. Pieces of the egg have been scattered across the 8 distinct areas of the island, but getting to them isn't that simple, as each area has a statue blocking its entrance. These statues require hearts. To get hearts, you help the many animals who are wandering around. Instead of the quest having a storyline, the animals simply have a bubble pop up containing the item they need. You may need to take part in one of the many activities on the island to get the item, or trade a certain item with another animal, or buy the item from a shop. Before you can enter a shop, you actually must build it first. These can require quite a few items to be built, but the game's pacing with new gameplay elements being introduced and new things to discover is done extremely well. There was really only a couple of times where it felt like it dragged on a little bit, but by that time, the addictive collecting habit of these types of games had kicked in, and the reward for pushing on was certainly worth it, as inside the shop, you can buy upgraded versions of your tools. An improved axe will chop down different types of trees, and a better pickaxe will not only destroy tougher ore, but it also unlocks new areas on the island. The shops can be expanded too, which allows you to buy new things such as different vegetable seeds and decorative items for your island. One building even introduces a cooking mini game where customers come in and request one of the many recipes on a wall, and another building allows you to buy clothing for the villagers who actually wear it when given. There really is quite a few things to do here, and if you don't like one of the activities, you can certainly get through by only doing the things you actually enjoy. It took me around 5 hours to find all the eggshell pieces and to see the credits roll, but honestly, the game doesn't really end there. I still have a few shops to expand, upgraded tools to buy, and you really could keep on customizing each area to your liking for a very long time.
I would make a pen and defend the animals from people who feel the need to launch them everywhere.
You do realise the whole game is about helping these animals, right? From the sounds of things, you want to lock them inside a prison. You really do have a lot of freedom when it comes to decorating your island. Each area has specific items just laying around, which can be picked up and placed in another. The shops contain many items, and although some types are repeated, like the fences, their theme certainly isn't. You really can give each area your own feel. There is so many items in this game, so much in fact, that towards the end, you will run out of space in your inventory. Luckily, you can buy a storage chest, and just like your inventory, it's very responsive and easy to use. Not only can you place stationary items down wherever you want, but you can also move animals by tempting them with their favourite food. You can even give certain objects and buildings a new coat of paint, thanks to your paintbrush. You must actually dip it into a bucket of paint first, before you can actually apply it. It's a simple action, but it does ground you in this world so much more. The customization doesn't even end here though, as you can create your own character. You can either be a boy or girl, add some accessories, and change the colour of certain body parts. This doesn't really have much of a use in the single player side of the game, but these options are very welcomed, considering the game comes with an online multiplayer mode, which we'll take a look at next.
Let me guess, we're going to see two people playing catch with a seagull now?
Not exactly, but we may play with a piece of their waist.
Oh my goodness!
The game has an online mode for up to 2 players. Of course, you can keep your island offline so that you can enjoy the game by yourself, or you can make your island public so people could randomly drop by at any time to see how well you're doing, or you could set it to friends only. The cool thing about searching for a match is that you can see whether or not the owner of an island has completed the egg yet. It's a great bit of info, as people who have completed it will likely be decorating their island and will want to show it to others. It really is so much fun to play online. Not only can you trade with other people, which will help each other with their quest, but because everything is physics based, you could actually make up your own fun. I made a space for us to throw things in out of chopped up pieces of wood. It's moments like these that really allow this island to be a great virtual meetup space, as you don't have to follow the game's rules. Raccoons that appear can also make for some entertaining moments, in for multiplayer at least. Raccoons can steal items from your inventory. To prevent them from doing this, you must smack them on the head with a tool. They do appear quite a bit the further you get in the game, and it can become quite annoying, especially as their spawning locations are often the same. Online though, it is funny watching your partner run away from them.
That's it, my furry friends! Start a revolution! Don't feel threatened by these evil monsters anymore!
You do realise we're still talking about a video game? The online side really does allow for endless amounts of fun, and I can't wait to return to it later on to see how much decorating people have done. This game really was a pleasure to play from start to finish, and although I have completed the egg, I will absolutely return to the game over and over again. I actually can't believe how cheap the game is, considering how many items are here and how many hours of fun the multiplayer mode could potentially bring. Sure, the activities are quite basic, but they are enjoyable and you're constantly being rewarded with new things to do. The pacing here is close to perfection. If you haven't ever been into these types of games, I'm not sure if it being virtual will completely change your view, but I'm sure you would find some entertainment in the online mode, and if you do like these games, the added immersion completely elevates the genre. Overall, if this is your type of game, it's absolutely a must buy. It's certainly one of them games that you can chill out to, but be warned, you may start to become more aware of the quest's battery life, as it's a highly addictive experience where you can really lose track of time.
And also be warned by me, I will be searching the online servers day and night, and if I find that any of you have been mistreating these defenseless creatures, I will take matters into my own hands.
Oh, you're so intimidating, Mr Oculus.
Mr. Oculus.